Good morning, junior hockey fans. This is Stephen Heisler with HeisHockey.com, the Victoria's Hockey Company, and the Junior Hockey Discussion Group on Facebook. You are watching the Junior Hockey Morning Show. We are live today, Wednesday, February 8th, 2023. You can see us on the World Sports Broadcasting Network, WSBN.TV, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and hopefully in your living room or office or telephone this morning. Good morning. Hope that you guys are having a fine day. Sorry about yesterday's strange shows system. Tommy recorded the show and put PM instead of AM, so it didn't quite go live at 9 a.m. as designed. Ended up going a little bit later, I think. Hope you enjoyed that show yesterday. No USHL games last night or today. North American Hockey League top prospects action completed yesterday. The South beat the Central 5-4, East over the Midwest 5-1. The South ended the event with a 2-0 record. Central and East 1-1, and the Midwest lost both of their games. In the 3HL, same place. Team South, Team Central, and Team East came away with wins on Tuesday. Both Team South and Team West finished with 2-0 records for the event. Once again this morning, Tomas will be monitoring the Facebook group. If you have any questions, comments during the course of the show, and you want to hear them answered at the end, just do so in the comment section of this post on the Facebook group. Today's topic, pretty close to my heart. If I were king of junior hockey, he would have a serious challenger for the USHL and the NAHL when it comes to getting players to NCAA Division I hockey. If I were king, or just hit it really big in the lottery, there would be a new entity created that would open up the market for players across the entire continent. Yes, I'm essentially saying or talking about an NCAA compliant major junior hockey league. The game really needs it. Imagine the chaos at the Board of Governors meeting for either of the US-based leagues if another serious competitor for American prospects entered the marketplace. Imagine the chaos if players were really finally able to take a stand against poorly operated clubs that failed to maintain the standards set for each level of play. You know, it's time for that. The game really needs another player in the market, another contender for talent, another option for top level amateur players outside of what's happening in Canada with the Ontario Hockey League, the Q, or the Western Hockey League. Yes, there is more than enough junior hockey played on the continent, but there is not enough free-to-play opportunities that can legitimately get prospects to the NCAA Division I level. And that's where such a new entity would come in. Since USA Hockey has locked out any new entity from forming sanctioned leagues at the Tier 1 level or Tier 2 level, the USHL and NAHL have those two levels locked up permanently. There really is no other choice but to step from out under the umbrella of USA Hockey or sanctioning and go it alone. There are some serious advantages to going the non-sanctioned route, not having to worry about USA Hockey or Hockey Canada programs refusing to release prospects to the new entity for one, and that's been a major problem that really hinders the flow of talent from one level to the next. Not having to deal with import restrictions at all would be another. I think you see the non-sanctioned leagues in the United States and Canada really thriving as a result of not having that import restriction issue. Then there are other really silly rules that often limit the natural flow of talent to higher level leagues, and that can slow down a player's developmental options. We see that all the time. We see AAA players that are 16 or 17 and not able to make the move to junior A hockey. Well, that's nice. You turn that off? You got that? Okay. Not able to make it to junior A hockey because of one reason or another, probably because some state affiliates have really stopped that from happening. They don't allow players to go to even the tier 3 level if they're still at midget eligible age. For high-end players, look at Connor Bedard from Canada, one of the best probably junior players in the world. He's only 17. We are allowing those players to make it to the USHL and the NAHL, but it's hard. If Connor was an American player, he wouldn't be allowed to play in Canada, not at the tier 2 level or NCAA Division 1 routed level of going to the CJHL. That wouldn't be allowed. A new entity would open up those, or could open up those avenues for top end prospects. Yes, it is time for something to happen that absolutely forces coaches into keeping promises or risk losing prospects altogether. How many times have we heard this? Hey, you're going to be in our you're in our top 6. You're going to be on the power play, and you're going to get a lot of minutes here as an 18-year-old. And come to find out, when the kid gets to team, he's on the 4th line. He's not getting any power play minutes. And he just buried because he's too young. He's a rookie. Just deal with it. I think those kind of players with high potential should have the ability to go a different direction if the coach fails to maintain or fails to live up to his promises. Teams across the entire spectrum of junior hockey would have to reevaluate the way players were taken care of and treated. We see it all the time. We hear about it all the time. I imagine that pre- and post-game meal situation would improve for everyone. Who's tired of pizza after a game? How do you live off a sub sandwich before a game? You're a world-class athlete trying to make it to Division I college hockey, and they're giving you a Subway sandwich. That's not a pre-game meal. That's a joke. Why would any player tolerate not having a real bed to sleep in on road trips? 3, 4, 5 kids to a room? 3 guys are on the floor before a game? Ludicrous. Those days would come to an end quickly. 4 players to a room, no more of that. There would be no more of that. Crappy sticks. Missing medical staff, promise. And other standard failures would quickly be a thing of the past. Teams would have to live up to their end of the deal or risk losing their players to a different entity. Imagine that. We know the non-sanctioned league on the East Coast hasn't been able to really send players to Division I. Got a couple here and there. But really, that hasn't been the route. This new group, a new group that's well-funded, can easily take that position. The new entity would also be able to change the player procurement process entirely. How would other leagues be able to get away with bringing 400 players to a main camp? Okay, maybe it was 300. Too many. Just because of an email that was sent that was full of misleading promises and opportunities. When you walk into a camp and you're a goalie and you're told, hey, we really need to get a second goalie in here, and you walk in, there's 40 of them there, and you're going to play down to about 24, insane. That's not an opportunity. That's a money grab. Teams wouldn't get away with that anymore. Imagine the chaos when teams get forced to disclosing roster information in the offseason. If the new entity is willing to show committed returners and free agent signees before hosting camps, would that not force other folks to do the same thing? Of course it would. Raise the standards. We know what talent, what the freshman class is every year at a college long before the end of the current season. We know what they're bringing in next year. Why can't junior programs do the same thing? We know that, yeah, I think they will be doing that soon. Here's the really good news. Short show. I am pretty sure all of this is going to happen without me having to win the lottery. Stay tuned. Any questions? Folks, we've been talking about a different major junior type of league coming along, and the time has come. The time is here. I believe something's going to happen that changes the landscape of junior hockey. Maybe it's on the West Coast. Maybe it's in the Atlantic District. What is happening? It's coming. Is it a pro team going to flip? Is it a pro league that's going to flip? Is it an already established league that's going to raise level of play to a new standard? Stay tuned. Big news on the horizon. And everything is going to change about junior hockey as a result. That's it for today. I'm in a suit today, not because I'm so serious about you guys. Well, I am serious about you. You guys are important. Coffee's good. But I have to go to work because my wife is mean. Happens. That's it for today. Enjoy your coffee and have a great day in hockey.